If you look at some of our famous homesteading YouTubers, you would think the world is coming to an end, that YouTube doom and gloom is there to absolutely pound you into submission, that there is a master plan by the YouTube overlords are coming in and swiping down us homesteaders and saying, we are not going to monetize you, we're not going to give you the views, we're not going to do a lot of that. Meanwhile, quite frankly, our content is not where it needs to be. I want to kind of break this down a little bit because I've seen probably 10 to 12 videos in the last couple of weeks that are saying that YouTube is specifically attacking conservative homesteaders. And so they're saying that the algorithm is going after them and that YouTube is there shutting them down. They're giving them less views and whatever it might be. And I kind of want to challenge that thought just a little bit. I know that that makes great content. It is easy for us as content creators to be like, oh man, it's YouTube's fault. It's algorithm. You hear the word algorithm, and you think of just this ones and zeros that go behind each other that magically pick your destiny, like it's the lottery. And it's not quite like that. So where I've believed that us YouTubers need to challenge ourselves on, specifically in our homesteading space, and I think this is not about necessarily being conservative or whatever. Again, I kind of stay out of the politics game on my channel, but I want to challenge this thought, and I want to challenge you as the viewer. So hang in there with me because I have a great point that's going to wrap it all in. So when we hear the word algorithm, we have to stop blaming our success on ones and zeros that YouTube does behind the scenes that magically picks what goes on our browsing screens. The issue is not YouTube. You look at these different accounts that are posting these issues, and they're posting up things that are specifically about the news, especially negative news. They're pulling up news articles, and I love these channels, and I'm not going to name channels because I'm not here to diss on other people's channels. I'm not about that. What I am trying to do as a homesteader is show you that I believe there's a little bit that we're not talking about when it comes to our content. Some of our homesteader YouTubers, they have been out for nearly over a decade, and they've put in a lot of content from how they grow chickens and how they do things on their gardens and grow pigs, and that's great. The problem with content creation, and though this is a new channel, I've been in content creation now for 3 years. The problem with content creation is that it's very easy to take the easy route. And it's very easy to blame our situation on YouTube and this magical word called shadow banning, rather than looking inward at our own content. And then when I ask and I research and I do the bits when it comes to asking YouTube, is this true? Why is it this way? I'm told something very different. So when we look at the word algorithm, we really need to be replacing the word algorithm with audience. And so our audience might not be liking the content that we're putting out. And that hurts. That sucks. I've got plenty of content on my page that's not liked by everybody, and I didn't create it for everybody. But we also can't come up and put up that stuff every single day and expect a new result. So I want to challenge and push back the thought. I do not believe YouTube specifically is targeting homesteaders, and even more specifically, conservative homesteaders. I believe overall that the audience is tired of hearing the news. If I have to hear the words election, Donald Trump, Joe Biden, Kamala Harris, and border issues, Israel, any of those issues, I'll be honest with you, I'm sick of it. I've got things to do. I've got chickens to feed and pigs to hang out with and goats to pet and 15 puppies to play with. I don't care about those. They're important, but I don't care on a day-to-day basis on what's going on. The problem is that it becomes easy to post content about that. And it's very difficult, I'll be honest with you, it's difficult for me not to post content on that. because it is the easy button that everybody wants to hit. I can go to the news and point out the next major disaster and be like, this is why you should homestead. And in all reality, what it really comes down to is if you want to homestead, homestead. If you don't want to do it, then don't do it. I shouldn't have to scare you with a title. I shouldn't have to scare you with content to get you into homesteading or to get you to click on. So as we're looking through and you're seeing these scary titles that are downright clickbait, I believe everybody has good intention. I don't believe it's malintent or they're solely out for the clicks, if you will, on Homestead. I think a lot of it has to do with it's easy content. And there's nothing wrong with that. But not everybody is wanting to hear that content, specifically on politics. Honestly, politics are going to ruin 2024. I can already sense it. My Facebook is already absolutely a dumpster fire full of issues. And then I think the more that we deep dive into 2024, those who are specifically are getting into those issues might be using that as clickbait. And I just want to encourage you, you as the homesteader, you're voting every time you click on something. So if you're sick of hearing about Donald Trump, Israel, war, World War III, Joe Biden, Kamala, border issues, whatever it might be, food shortages, which is, I work in the food distribution. We don't really have food shortages. Most of that's a lie. And then all of these things that are happening, I just want to encourage you, if you're really out there looking into deep diving into homesteading and learning about homesteading, click on videos that have to deal with actual homesteading content. If you wanted to get into the politics, those are great channels that are out there as well. To me, the substance is low because today's opinion is not always tomorrow's opinion, and today's facts are not always tomorrow's facts. But I feel like homesteading as a general has facts. It has substance. So I just want to encourage you as you're going through your homestead journey, don't get sucked into the headlines. Don't get sucked into the thumbnails, that everything's okay and homesteading is fun. It's enjoyable. It's a Sunday afternoon and my pigs are over there scrunching down on last night's scraps. I got chickens right here who've gotten all the sunflowers and things left over from the summer garden that's been pumped into them. There's sheep and everything here in my barn that are just here hanging out eating hay. Everything's fine. Everything's great. There's no reason at all to have that negativity in the homestead space. So as you see these negative headlines and thumbnails that are coming out, please note and understand. So as you see these headlines and all the clickbait that's out there when it comes to homesteading, please note that there's lots of good in homesteading and you don't need the politics to get involved. That shouldn't be your sole reason, or else you'll just be done in 2025 when your guy does or does not get in. It's more about the lifestyle that we have when we homestead. And that's why I homestead. Yes, being prepared for all the bad things, it's in my top 10, but it's not in my top 3 by a long shot. Deep dive into your homesteading articles, deep dive into the videos and content that you're looking at. Know that you vote every single time that you click on something, whether that's something you want to see in the future. When you click on something, YouTube is going to double down on that because it sees that you're interested in that topic. And then on the flip side, creators, us, we can't get upset when the audience does not want to view that content. At the end of the day, a lot of people don't want to view our content when it comes to politics. And there's absolutely nothing wrong with it. It doesn't mean we're getting shadow banned. It doesn't mean that YouTube is cutting you. It doesn't mean that the YouTube CEO quietly went into a room, looked up your stuff, and turned your things off. That is so slim to none. No one's getting their content cut off. It's all imaginary. So with that said, enjoy the content that's out there. Don't get involved in the politics. Ask more from us content creators. Put in the comments down below what you'd like to see more from us here at Homesteading Chef. We got lots of great contents. We're going over to record. Once it stops raining, we're going to go record over in the garden and look at some things that we've been working on. We hope we see you next time here on Homesteading Chef.